Okay, so for our first example, it's just a really simple one. 3 times a number plus 4 equals 31. So remember, we talked about what was said last is what we get rid of first. So we did 3 times a plus 4. So the first thing we're going to do, and we do the reverse, is take away 4. So we're left with 3a equals 27. And then that's 3 times a equals 27. So to get rid of the 3, we divide because we do the opposite. So then we just get a equals 9. And the good thing, remember, with these questions is you can put the answer back into the original question and check it. So we could do 3 times 9 equals 27. 27 plus 4 is 31. We know we got that right. Okay, so our second example is still the same as the first one. There's just an extra step. So we read it as 2 times a number divided by 3, take away 5 gives us -1. So the last thing I said before the equal sign was take 5. So that means the first thing we do is plus 5 to each side. So we have 2x over 3 equals 4. And then once we've got that, we look at the next part. It says 2 times a number divided by 3 equals 4. So to get rid of the 3, we do times 3 to each side, and we would end up with 2x equals 12. And then, of course, we just do what we were doing before, divide 2 to get x equals 6. Now, again, we can put that back into our original question. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 take away 5 gives us -1. So we know that we got that answer correct. Okay, so our next example that we talked about was when we've got an unknown on both sides. So the first step was to always move the letters to one side. Okay, and I've just written that there for you. So we move the variables to the left-hand side. So that means I'm going to move the 3a to here. And remember, there's a reason when I put the arrowhead behind the 5a. It's because when we do this, so it was a positive here, so it becomes a take. It becomes 5a take 3a plus 4 equals 8. And then we can just collect the like terms. And in the same step, I'm actually going to move the 4 and get rid of the 4. So to get rid of that, we do the opposite. Take 4, so we have to take 4 from the other side. So we end up with 2a equals 4. And then once we get to here, it's just the simple linear equation from before. We just do divided by 2. Just write that in for you. So then 4 divided by 2 is 2. And again, we can check these. So if we do 5 times 2 plus 4, we get 14. And 3 times 2 plus 8 is also 14. So again, we know that we're right there. Okay, so again, we've got one where there's a variable on both sides, and we do eventually need to move them all to the left-hand side. However, we can't do that until we've expanded the brackets. So the first step is expand. So remember, we just do 3a plus 12 equals 7a take away 28. Okay, so then when we do this one, we're going to move the 7a to here. Again, it's a plus 7a. So when we move it, we make it a take. So it becomes 3a take 7a plus 12 equals -28. Remember that negative has to stay with the 28. Okay, after that we collect the like terms and we do 3a take 7a is -4a. And in the same step, I'm going to do take away 12. So to get rid of that 12, we take 12. So we take 12 from this side as well. -28 take 12 is -40. So a has to be +10 because we would do divide -4 there and divide -4 here. And of course, a negative divided by a negative is a positive number. Okay, so when we had something like this with fractions, I'm only going to do the video on the first method of multiplying by the lowest common denominator, because when I asked for which method you guys preferred, pretty much everybody, if not everybody, put up their hand for the first method. A couple of you didn't indicate whether or not method 1 or 2 worked for you, so I'll just go with method 1. I think it's the most mathematically logical and a bit easier to follow. So the first thing we need to do, we always find the lowest common denominator. So we look at the two fractions there and we say, okay, 3 and 5, what's the lowest common denominator? It would be 15. So we need to multiply everything by 15. So we would multiply the first part by 15. So we get this. And we have to multiply every single thing by 15. I'm just going to fix that up there. Including the answer, okay? So the answer there, 3, has to be multiplied by 15 as well, okay? And you can write a little thing there if you need to do 3 times 15. We can then say and look at our coefficients. So we've got 15 divided by 3. So 15 divided by 3, that gets rid of those things, and we can cancel it down to 5. So we've got 5 brackets x take 2 plus these two things here, the 15 and the 5, they can cancel to 3, like so. And then we've got back to basically an ordinary equation where we need to expand first. So 5x take 10 plus 3x plus 3 equals 45. We would then collect our like terms, so 5x plus 3x is 8x, negative 10 plus 3 is negative 7, equals 45. Okay, I'm just going to move over to here because I'm running out of room. Then we would add 7 to the other side, so we get 8x equals 52, and then x is equal to 52 on 8. I apologise for that one not being a whole number. But it still works out, okay? So 52 on 8, we can simplify that down because 4 goes into both of those things, to 13 over 2, or 6.5. Both answers would be correct, but like I said to you, best just to leave it as an improper fraction. I'm going to do one more of these sorts of ones where we multiply by the lowest common denominator for you. Okay, so our second example is x plus 1 divided by 3 plus x take 4 divided by 2 equals 5. So again, first step is lowest common denominator. Lowest common denominator of 3 and 2 is 6. So the first thing we do is multiply everything by 6. Okay, so each term we multiply by the lowest common denominator, including that last one, so we end up with 30 at the end. And again, these two things can cancel down, leaving us with 2 and 1. And these two can cancel to leaving us with 3 and 1, which then just leaves us with 2 brackets x plus 1, because 2 divided by 1 is 2, and 3 divided by 1 is 3. So we end up with plus 3, x take 4, equals 30. Now we expand, so 2x plus 2 plus 3x take 12 equals 30. Collect the like terms. 2x plus 3x is 5x. 2 take 12 is negative 10. And then, of course, to get rid of that, we're at a normal equation now. So we have 5x equals 40 because we add it. And then I'm just going to go back up to here to finish it off. And we would end up with x equals 8 as our final answer. Okay, and we can actually check that. So if we put the 8 back in, we've got 8 plus 1 is 9. So let's write this down. We've got this as a check. Okay, 8 plus 1 over 3 plus 8 take 4 over 2. We need to see if that equals 5. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that does give us 5. So yes, we know that 8 is correct. I hope this helps. Remember, you can watch them as many times as you like to get yourself confident, especially in the lead up to assignments and tests. Any questions, come and see me.